Dobro jutro. Good morning, dear visitors, dear guests in Ljubljana. Welcome in our program, Ljubljana for You, which we are preparing local guides together with Ljubljana TV. We would like you to feel very comfortable in our capital. So we always do take care that your meets, let's say, can be expected or met very soon. These days, you're going to notice that there will be quite a few visitors in Ljubljana. And what is the main reason for that? It's going to explain to us my colleague Diana Ternav. Dobro jutro, Diana.
Dobro jutro, good morning.
Diana, once I walked through the city, and that was a group, I think, from Britain or from United States. And one of the questions was, is Italian official language here? And I was like, no, not in Ljubljana, that's on the coast. And then I was wondering, why did they ask me that? And later on, I realized that actually that was because of the date. It was August 15th. Mm-hmm. What's going on?
Yeah, well, August 15 is a very important Catholic festivity. It's Assumption of Mary, but it's not the only such feast they have. As we are in December, I assume that we are going to talk about 8th of December, which is tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, actually, these days are going to be the same days as the ones that I explained before in August, because when we'll be walking around the city, there will be a lot of Italian-speaking guests.
Yes, really a lot, especially tomorrow, but I would like to say maybe even Saturday, so 9th of December. 8th of December is an official festivity, and it's like a working free day in Italy, and it's the Immaculate Conception of Virgin Mary. And that's really an important festivity. That's why lots of Italians come to Ljubljana. Well, it's not the only reason. You know, Italy is just around the corner. Yeah. We are so close, and it's logic that they come here.
Which are the other days that you already know that you will be busy?
Well, Easter. This is a period which is traditionally very, very important. Then 25th of April, which is their festivity of liberation, so the Day of Liberation in Italy. And then another quite important date is the 2nd of June, which is the Day of Republic in Italy.
So in those days, you guides for Italian language have to be in the city.
Of course, fully booked.
Fully booked. What would you think that these Italian guests are different than the other ones? What's their story?
Well, I think that Italians are very well known around the world as being quite loud. They like to speak a lot.
They have a temper in their
They
blood.
really enjoy life. What does it mean? That they really love to eat good. But it's not everything about Italian, what I told, because Italians are also quite curious. They like to usually engage a local tourist guide, and they are interested in also the monuments and the history, and they ask a lot of things. But basically, they should be very satisfied about their, feeling for food, good drinks, and so on.
Yes, I noticed that actually they have to have a city tour like in the morning, and then after lunch. No chance to have it over lunch.
Of course, in Italy, everything stops between, let's say, 12 and 4. And it really depends from area to area, maybe 12:30 to 3. Usually, it's a period that it's dedicated to eat something and to rest a little bit, which I think it's quite a good thing.
Yeah, it's pretty healthy.
Yep.
From food, what kind of food, Slovenian food, can you recommend to them?
Well, they usually ask me about that. This is really curious. Even students, for example, they always ask me about typical traditional Slovenian food. And then going around Ljubljana, I always show them a lot of things. We have to know that Slovenian food is basically potatoes, some good potatoes, maybe some štrukli, or meat, of course, sausage, carnelian sausage. And they always ask me also about sweet. You know, we have gibanica, we have putica, which is really very famous now because of Pope Francis and Melania.
Can you explain us this story?
Yeah, it was a story about this meeting of Pope Francis with Melania and Donald Trump this year. And Pope Francis, he has a relative which is married to a Slovenian woman. And he personally knows about putica.
So putica, can you explain to us?
Yes, putica, it's our very, very famous traditional cake. It's a roll of dough, usually filled with different, let's say, different stuff. It might be nuts. It might be, let's say, poppy seed.
Walnut is the most
walnut is the
one.
most traditional.
And?
Well, so Pope Francis, he knows about this cake, and as he knew exactly that Melania originates from Slovenia, from Sevnica, when they met, he asked Melania, well, what do you give him to eat? Putica. And there was a translator who was actually translating him from Spanish, and he logically did not know about putica, and he translated it into pizza. So it became a very, very funny story also in the media and on television, and lots of Italians actually ask me about putica.
Nowadays.
Nowadays.
So also now the translator knows what putica is.
I think yes.
I think that once you mentioned that restaurant owners should never offer pasta to Italians.
Well, yeah, this is something really traditional in Italy, and they do not go around the world to eat pasta because they eat it every day in Italy.
Homemade
of course,
pasta?
Yes, homemade and really al dente, which means not cooked too much. This is really important for them, and it's even very healthy, as nutritionists say. So you should never offer pasta to Italians because you will fail, usually, because you are not able to cook it in the proper way as they.
Yeah. So that's a good tip for our restaurant owners.
Yes, or maybe really to stay in the line of the traditional Slovenian food. So offer to them štrukli, offer to them good potatoes, good meat, and they will be completely satisfied.
So they like Slovenian food?
Oh yes, they do. Especially if you know how to explain it in Italian.
In Italian language. What's inside, how it's prepared.
Yes, exactly.
They also
just
ask
a few
for recipes, I think.
Exactly, just a few sentences. You know, it's not necessary that you know a perfect Italian. Italians do not expect a brilliant Italian in a restaurant, but just the typical buongiorno, grazie, and all these really traditional words which are used in a restaurant.
Actually, you come from the coast, from Koper, where Italian language is spoken.
Yes, it's not only that it's spoken, but we have to really underline an interesting fact in Slovenia, that in Slovenia we have, of course, Slovenian, which is the main language of Slovenia, but in the constitution of Slovenia we have two languages of the minorities. One of the minority lives in the northeast of Slovenia, and it's Hungarian. Well, their language is official language in Slovenia, and on the coast, so on the coastal part of Slovenia, we have Italian language being the language of the local minority, and so it's official language, and we learn it at school. We actually grow up studying and learning Italian language.
So that's how you became also a guide in Ljubljana for Italians?
Well, I always loved Italian language already in the elementary school, later on also in the secondary school or high school. And at the end, when I passed the matura or the exam to be admitted to the university, I decided to study Italian language too.
Okay, so then you're a perfect ambassador for Italians from Ljubljana. In Ljubljana, what is a must-see for Italians?
Well, I would really say that they are interested in discovering the historical city center of Ljubljana with the main monuments, being the Franciscan Church, the cathedral, the town hall, the Dragon Bridge, the historical city center like Stari Trg, Mestni Trg, Novi Trg, all this. But they always ask me also about the castle. So usually they are very interested also to go and discover the castle of Ljubljana. And when they are explained to do so, they are also very interested to do a boat tour on River Ljubljana.
Oh yeah, because it's warm, no?
Yes.
And they can relax?
They can relax and they see, and it's really always a nice thing to do in Ljubljana, a boat tour.
What about our love story? Julia.
Oh yeah, so they like to really, they really like to hear, but they have a limit, you know, because if you start, let's say, around 9 o'clock, you will work till 11:30, 12, when they will already start to feel very hungry and to have their lunch, you know.
Their lunch, yes. Well, actually, I wanted to know if they like to compare our Prešeren to their Petrarca, or...
Well, the majority of Italians, we have to say, don't know about Prešeren, but there are tourist guides, local tourist guides, which explain. So we explain to them the story of Prešeren and usually compare Prešeren to Dante.
To Dante, yes.
Yeah. Because this is quite, let's say that it's very similar situation.
Yes.
It's just that the difference is about 600 years. You know,
Yes.
Dante was working or
But
doing
anyway,
his poetry in the 13th century.
They do feel more comfortable
yes,
when they
of course.
hear this
Yes. You have to compare always.
Yes, they like music. Italians like music very much. And we have in our National Museum the oldest flute in the world.
Yes.
Do you present them this artifact as well?
Yes, I have to say that 2017 was really a particular year because 1 year before I have passed the exam to be a tourist guide also in our National Museum, and I had a request from an Italian group of archaeologists. So we went to our National Museum and they were really very interested and also very surprised about the richness of our National Museum. So I really think that we should be more, proud. And we should be able to present our history to the tourists too.
Yes.
Because it's really very important and very interesting.
Yeah. So, dear visitors, dear guests, I hope that you got some ideas what to do over a weekend. There was an idea to go for a city tour. There was an idea to visit the castle, maybe to warm up on the boat, or even to visit our National Museum. Of course, there are also some cultural events. Just check at the information office. They have a brochure called Events. And we think that with our help, you're going to feel even better in our capital. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow. Na svidenje.
Ljubljana se mi zdi dejanska prestolnica Slovenije, ker najdeš v njej vse in ni kot vse ostale evropske prestolnice, je manjša in se mi zdi, zato je tudi turisti imajo rajši kot London, Moskvo, Pariz in zdi se mi taka prijazna in ljubka za prestolnico.
It's very beautiful and the people is so nice.
Ljubljana se mi zdi zelo prijazni ljudje, zelena.
Ljubljana je vedno lepša.
Ja, Ljubljana je lepa, mirna. Se veselim, kadar vsakič, ko pridem tukaj v centru mesta Ljubljana.
Ljubljana je za mene lepo mesto, kjer sem veliko let študiral.
So hi, I'm from Croatia and I work here. I think that Ljubljana is the 10 last year is one perfect place for tourists.
Ljubljana vam je zdaj zelo lepa.
Ja, je lepa, velika. Mi je všeč znamenitosti od Ljubljane.
Ljubljana je najlepše mesto na svetu.